Right. This is the JK Theory. I'm Jay.
I'm Kay.
And here at this podcast, no topic is off limits. We talk about it all. We give it to you raw and uncut. And even on the serious topics, we try to put some comedic spin to it. Because at the end of the day, you just got to laugh about life. Am I right?
Most deaf.
Excellent. So today's topic is going to be an interesting one. So right now, I want you guys to pay attention to this one. I definitely want you guys to leave some comments because we want to hear what your side is on this. Okay, so if an officer is breaking the law right in front of you, do you interfere? Now, my instincts tell me immediately, no. Okay, absolutely not. I mean, just to give you guys some insight where I'm coming from, I'm with my wife. This was years ago. I'm driving a car that's not mine, and I get pulled over. And as soon as I see the lights, I'm freaking out. I pull over, turn the radio off, put the car in park, take the keys off the ignition, throw the keys into the dash, make sure the window's all the way down, and my hands are on the wheel 10 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
My wife looks at me in shock, like, what are you doing? And I told her, I'm trying not to get shot. I'm trying to give the officer absolutely no reason to put his hand on his weapon.
Right. Yep.
Listen, she thought I was crazy.
Mm.
But I was raised at the end of the day, you do what you got to do to get home.
Exactly. Yep.
Don't give the cop any reason. So just to give you guys some examples of that question, if an officer's breaking the law right in front of you, do you do anything? So my first example is if you see a cop park his police vehicle in a handicap spot, knowing he's not handicapped, do you do anything? Okay, what do you think?
This is gonna sound crazy coming from me, but I really don't do much. Only for the simple fact is he might have to. He might be doing his job, and he had to park somewhere really fast and get to a situation where he needed to be at. And if the handicap park is the only place he could park, he's stopping a robbery. I mean, hey, that's just what it is. I can't say anything. It's wrong, yes, but he's doing his job. I can't say anything. I don't think I'll say anything on that scenario.
Okay. I'm going to say something. I am definitely going to say something. Okay. I've had back surgery where I've had to have the handicap placard. Okay. Mm-hmm. When I go to Walgreens, if there's no handicap parking spot available, I'm freaking out. So if I see a police car there, oh, yes, sir, I'm going to say something. I am going to say something. I'm going to let him have it. Why? Because if I did not have a handicap placard and I parked my car in a handicap spot, he would, with the quickness, flip out his ticket and give me a $250 fine. So his ass should not be parking in the handicap spot, period. I don't care if there's a robbery going on, double park like everybody else does. Block the intersection. You ain't even got your four ways on. Okay, you parked the car, turned off your AC, rolled your window up. Come on, fam. You're at Walgreens parking lot? No. There's no robbery going on. Forget all that. Where's your backup? Where's the robbery?
Walgreens get robbed all day. Every day, it's a Walgreens that get robbed. Okay, so I'm going to say in this scenario, I don't say anything. I don't think it's a big enough deal for me to say something with. Not that scenario.
If I'm not in a rush, if I don't have my kids with me, and I got time, oh shit. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna put it on social media. Officer, what's your name? What's your badge number? What you doing parked here? Where's your handicap placard? Are you Oh, you're not handicapped? Really? What are you doing parking here? Look. You see that vehicle with the handicap placard? He can't park here because your ass is in his spot. What you gotta say about that?
You gonna make a whole scenario out the
Oh,
case?
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm gonna make a big stink about it. Because there's a history there, okay? There's numerous times where my mom has parked somewhere, right? And she was maybe a couple of inches close to a fire hydrant, inches, okay? Or close to like a no parking zone,
Yeah.
and she got ticketed. And she got ticketed heavy. And I'm sorry, but I come from where if I had peanut butter, I had no jelly. If I had cereal, I had no milk.
Right.
So to hit us with that on top, that means we had to sacrifice something that month. You
Mm-hmm.
get what I'm saying? It's
Yep.
unfair. It's unfair. We had to fight every single ticket, and out of every single one, we've won maybe 2 out of 10. And if there's laws in place, then law enforcement needs to follow those laws. Period.
I mean, I agree. I agree with that 100%. And I just feel like that's not a big tiffy for me to be like to make a big deal. Yeah, people parking at handicap spots all the time, knowing damn well ain't nothing wrong with them. Like it's
Oh, I'm causing the scene. I'm causing the scene. Let me go to the mall and see a cop in the handicap. No, okay. Next scenario.
all right.
If you see a cop harassing people, so I live in a no ID state. You can't stop an ID. Okay,
Right. Yeah.
and you're hanging out at the park, whatever. We've seen it numerous times where a cop just decides to be an asshole that day. Pulls up, park his car, just starts pointing at people. Where are you coming from? What's your name? Let me see your ID. Where are you going? Well, he didn't do anything. He's been here the whole time. And the fact that this is a no stop and ID state, I don't have to give you my ID. Yes, you do. I asked you for ID. What's your ID? I ain't giving you dick. Like, no, it's not happening. Like, do you do anything at that point?
So me and me and Trey, we were coming from his house. We're going to get catfish.
JJ's
And there was,
catfish?
huh?
JJ's catfish?
Yep, you know it. We were going to get JJ's catfish. And there was like a parade coming down the street. So there's cops coming. So we didn't think none of it. We just walking. This cop was like, "Where y'all coming from? Who are you talking to? You two gentlemen, where are y'all coming from? Why? Why do you need to know that? Do you have your ID? For what? Why do you need to see our? What are you trying to accomplish? What are you looking for?" Well, there's been robberies in the area and you two fit the description. Was the description two black males? Because there's like 1,000 of them walking down the street. Are you going to stop every one of them and ask for their ID? Like at this point, I'm kind of pissed off because you're bothering me. I'm hungry. I'm just trying to get my food. And you don't see me with a TV or a radio. Why the hell are you stopping me?
Yeah.
So in that situation, if I seen a cop doing that, I know my mouth. I would definitely say something because I know what it's like to feel and be in that situation. I also want to say a disclaimer that this is exactly what Trump is trying to do. I'm just going to put that out there. If he's elected, he wants cops to just randomly stop people and check them and ask for ID. Just throwing that out there. Back to the scenario. Yes, I would say something. I would definitely say, why are you harassing these people? What did he do? What did she do? Why do you need their ID?
Absolutely. I think I would say something, but I have to not necessarily know if the person did anything. But if I have that feeling, if I have an inkling, if we're at a park and we're all just hanging out, playing basketball, whatever the case is, and I know he didn't do anything, I'm going to say something, you know?
Yeah.
Now, if I'm, for example, on my way to the grocery store or whatever the case, and I see a cop doing it to somebody outside of a bar, and the guy kind of looks a little bit intoxicated, I might keep my mouth shut. It's
Yeah.
kind of situational based, you know?
Right. I I understand that, but I think at the same time, I would kind of linger around.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, you have to, because
Yeah.
if there's nobody to see what's going on, anything can happen.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And I got my phone out. I'm a recorder. So I'm definitely recording this situation to make sure everything is on the up and up. And if he just getting arrested, hey, sorry, guy. But, you know, we all know things can go left real fast. So,
Exactly. I'm a huge believer in recording the police. Guys, no
yep.
matter what the police say, you have the right. It's freedom of press. You don't
Hmm.
need a press pass. There's no press license, degree, certificate. That doesn't exist. We have freedom of press to record any public servant doing their duty.
Yep.
Period. Even if the officer says, you don't have my permission to film me. Guess what? I don't need it, homie. I don't need it. You can film them. Even if they say, get the camera out of my face, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. You have the right to record them. And I highly suggest and recommend when you're dealing with the police, even if it's a friendly encounter, whip your phone out, record. Because you
Hmm.
never know, that might just save your life.
Exactly. Yep.
Now, bringing that topic in,
Hmm.
let's say you're seeing a cop that's out there and he's abusing their power, right?
Mm.
He's restraining someone unnecessarily, using extreme roughness. We've all seen it, the head smashed on the hood of the car. He's got his arm bent like he's doing some sort of a wrestling or UFC move.
Yeah.
He's hurting the person, you know. I don't want to bring up the guy's name, but we've seen officers murder people.
Yep.
Literal, it is murder.
Hmm.
Okay. It's not fentanyl, drugs. No, it's murder. Because just like you guys like to argue if fentanyl wasn't in his system, well, if his fucking knee wasn't in his neck, okay, he would have still been here.
Hmm.
Okay. So if you see that, what do you do? Or do you do anything? Is whipping out your phone enough?
That's so hard because in those situations, people wanted to do something. They wanted to do something, but a lot of times those scenarios, you just making the scenario worse. If you go and try to attack a police officer, what the other police officers gonna do? They're gonna shoot, and now it's going to be a lot of bodies laying on that ground. I think the best thing to do in those situations is a call other cops. You have to call the police station and tell them what's going on right away. Don't pull out your phone and start recording right away. Call the police station and let them know what's going on. So there could be more police officers there so they can get, because clearly they backup or whoever the hell is there is not going to help that person. So you need other officers to come to try to help that person. And then you pull out your phone and record everything that's going on. But your first reaction will probably be to push the officer off that person. but it's just gonna make the situation worse, and it's gonna end up getting not only that person probably killed, but it's also gonna get yourself killed.
So I love that idea of calling the police because now you have a trail. You have an
Yep.
audio recording. You know, more than likely, if something's happening, other people have their cell phones. Let them record what's going on
Exactly.
up until you have that. However, I like the idea, but there's also what you call, or what the people call, the thin blue line.
Mhm.
There's the blue gang. There's no matter what happens, the cop has the cops back.
Oh, of course.
So, yeah, they can call backup, but what if backup just tells you to back up? You get what I'm saying? Doesn't help the
I
situation, just has you
no,
back.
but it also paints the picture also of once people see it, that's when the reactions happen. It's like the thing when we were talking about with the rappers, and you got to see something to believe it. Well, we've seen these cases a million freaking times. I don't need to see another one like that to know that this is what they do, this is who they are. They've painted that picture already. That picture is cemented. It's on the walls. We know who the police are. We know, and I'm going to say this, and I know people ain't going to like it, but they're the biggest gang in America. Let's be honest. So, yeah, I get what you're saying, but that's what we have to do. Because of the simple fact, if we don't, then it's going to be so much more bloodshed out there. And then those people that are so for the cops, just cop friendly, cops can do whatever they want and no wrong, then they give them justification too of why there's more bodies out there. Oh, they attacked the police. Not saying that we were trying to save somebody else's life. No, they attacked the police, so the police have the right to defend themselves and kill that person. Well, the same scenario, that person wants to go home too. Just because you have that power, you cannot play judge, jury, executioner. That's not your job. Your job is to arrest somebody, send them to jail, and let their peers decide their fate. That's what you're supposed to do. Your job is not to go out there and kill a person. So technically, you're in the wrong as well. You're in the wrong doing what you're supposed to be doing your job.
So, throwing a theory out there, what if it's one cop, it's one officer,
Mm-hmm.
pulls up, starts harassing you? Where you going? You, what's your name? Get over here. Oh, you smell like weed. Whatever the case is, right? Spins him around, pats him down, slams him on the hood, throws him to the ground, arm on his neck or knee on his neck, whatever the case. Community's out there. The community's watching. They're mad. Things are being said. Some instances, things are being thrown.
Yep.
It's just one cop.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do something? I don't want to say what. But do you do something at that point? Because in theory, right? His knee is on his neck. If he holds him down for another minute or two like that, we all know it could end tragically. And we also know that Jamal over there can do one right hook and can possibly save that boy's life.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the right thing to do at that point?
I think the right thing to do is for me to go over there and try to talk to the cop and talk to the person that's laying on the ground and try to convince that person laying on the ground to calm down. He might be calm. He might, because we've seen cases where the person ain't really doing anything and they still got him on the ground like they're wrestling them or something, like the person is fighting back and they're really not. So I think I would try to talk the officer down because I know it's about to get ugly for that officer. Like if you're one person and the community's out there at this point and they see that happening, your chances aren't that good.
I
and
hear
to
that. I hear that.
and I would just try to talk and be like, hey, get him up. He's not going to run. Put him in your car until the rest of your backup gets here. That way y'all can do whatever y'all need to do and everybody can go home.
Okay, but I get that. And it might sound good on paper, but that's extremely hard to tell someone that's being restrained to calm down. Like if you can't breathe or if you're claustrophobic and you can't be restrained or you're on some sort of you're chemically not balanced, you can't handle that. You're gonna freak out. You're in fight or flight mode. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's like telling a pissed off woman, calm down, relax. No, that shit don't work. It's not gonna happen. So
I totally get that. But in a sense, you have to try to do something because if he don't calm down and that officer stays on his neck, he's gonna literally be calm because eventually he's going to lose consciousness.
okay, so now we're gonna spin another theory.
Mm.
And I don't want to take it there, but we have to, right? Nothing's off topic, right?
Okay, let's go.
It's gonna get personal.
Okay.
The officer has your mom on the floor.
It's a fight.
It's not gonna end well.
No, no, it's not gonna end well. Not gonna end well at all.
I have I love my mom to death. I'm a mama's boy. I was raised single parent. Okay, I love my mom.
Same way. Yep.
So whether it's my mom, your mom, anyone's mom,
Mm-hmm.
you know, the mother symbol, right,
Yep.
is precious to me.
Yep.
Children are precious to me.
Mm-hmm.
If I see an officer doing that to a motherly figure, and grandmothers, everything, all that, motherly figure or a child, man, I can't recall the video, but I've seen a video where an officer has done that to a motherly figure. And my first reaction was, how are all you just standing there? Light this motherfucker up. What are you guys doing? He's wrong. He's in the wrong. I don't care what that lady did. You don't slam an elderly person to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Head smacks the floor. She ain't moving. She's just breathing.
Yeah.
You're a grown ass man on top of this helpless woman.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in my body tells me to knock this motherfucker out.
Right.
And if I do it, I'm wrong. I'm
Yeah.
wrong.
Mm-hmm.
If I do it, I'm wrong. And there's a huge chance I'm going to get shot.
Yep.
And it might not be that day. Hello, they have body cams. They have cameras on their car. The street lights probably have cameras.
They do.
If they don't catch me today, they got all the time in the world. They have every single day of my life to catch me.
Yep.
And if that officer happens to unalive that person,
Mm-hmm.
what happens to that officer? Oh, you get 2 weeks paid vacation. Oh, you
Mm-hmm.
get a month off the force. Oh, you're going to go to desk duty. Fuck your desk duty. You know what I want? I want your pension. That's what I want. If I get your pension, it also makes it possible for you to never be able to work overtime. That's what I want. But where's the accountability? Because if we do something wrong, we pay the piper. If they do something wrong, it's like they're getting slapped on the wrist. Unless there's some political bullshit happening where they spin it and they try to race bait it.
to say this again. Mr. Cheeto is trying to make that a possibility. He wants officers to be, he said it out of his mouth, he wants them to be more aggressive.
He wants stop and frisk to come back.
He wants that to come back. He wants officers to be more aggressive. And he wants to give them immunity for things that they do. So therefore, pretty much saying cops can do whatever they want. They can pretty much run racket, and he will say it's okay.
Listen, police officers, don't get me wrong, I love them. They have their place. They have a very difficult job. They can literally die every single shift. You know what I'm saying? They have a hard job. But they're not soldiers. Okay? They're officers. It takes longer to be a barber and go through barber school than it is to go through the police academy and be an officer. Okay?
That's crazy.
It's nuts. And the training isn't there.
Yeah, okay? That's it.
And I'm a strong believer that if you're going to be a police officer, then you need to be assigned to police in your community that you live in. Okay? I grew up in a town for about 3-4 years where on the same block there were 3 police officers, and they policed that area. They policed, I think it was like a 12-block radius. Everybody knew them.
Yeah.
Nothing ever happened in that area. Everything was fine. Loved it. We need more of that.
Yes.
You know, if you're going to police in your community. People need to know there's a cop that lives there. Not because the cruiser's parked in front, but because it's just something that the community knows. You know, I think that there needs to be a lot more training when it comes to pressure.
Yes.
There needs to be training when it comes to high tense situations, in shootings. You know, I mean, there's always been this thing in the street, in the hood, right? That if you're going to pull out your gun, you're going to use it.
You better use it. Yep.
Right. So I believe with an officer that if you have to put your hand on your weapon, it's because you're going to use it. Your hand should never be on your weapon. I don't care if you're chilling. You can do this instead of doing this, putting your hand on your weapon. Because once your hand goes on your weapon, what's the next move? It's coming out.
Well, here's the thing, bro. Like, I get if a person is armed. If the other person has a gun and they're pulling out their gun or whatever, then the officer has every right to go home to their family. I'm fine with that. My biggest problem with police officers is how many people are killed that are unarmed. Why are they dead? Why are you shooting them? Why the hell 4 or 5 of y'all can't take down one damn person? What kind of training do y'all need? Karate class? Like, what is it that you can't take down one person and you have to kill this person when it's 5 of y'all? That makes absolutely no sense. And this person is unarmed.
And they have to empty the clip. Each one of them have to empty the clip. What?
Like, come on, man. Y'all, better training is 100% right. They definitely need that. They need to know how to deal with people with mental health. That's a big thing. A lot of people have mental health issues these days. Police officers don't seem to know how to work with those type of people.
Yeah. And I think to pedal back, that's where the officers need to enforce in their community comes in hand. Because just as well as we know if an officer lives in our neighborhood, we know that, you know, Rico that lives 3 houses down, he ain't all there. So you kind of got to watch, you know?
Yep.
We can see the signs. Some people, and that's the thing, some people you can see it physically on their appearance, and some people you can't.
Yep.
But with an encounter within a few minutes, you know.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
You got to watch this, you know?
Yep.
You can't get too close to them. You can't, make wild gestures. You
Mm-hmm.
got to handle it accordingly.
Right.
And most of the time, if people with disabilities are outside, their family's out there with them.
Mm-hmm.
So listen to their family. He's disabled. He's this. He's that.
Right.
I've seen so
Exactly.
many videos where they're like, no, 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 he's handicapped. He's this, and the cops don't give a shit.
No, they don't care. Care less.
It's insane. It's insane. So I think training needs to improve tremendously.
Tremendously. Yes.
Stop and frisk, I don't agree with it at all.
No.
Man, my senior year of high school, I would walk from my house to my cousin's house, which is literally 2 or 3 blocks away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm smoking a black and mild, and it would guarantee I'm like, I'm gonna go down this street that's not busy versus this street that is busy because I know I'm gonna get stopped.
Yeah.
And every time, and even though it's faster for me to go down the busier street, I go the longer route.
Right.
And I
Yeah.
don't get stopped going the back way. But if I go the fast way, I'm gonna get stopped. And it happens every single time I go down the main road. It's inevitable.
Right.
Inevitable. And I have nothing on me. I just got a black amount and my lighter. That's it. Stop and frisk doesn't work. Sorry. All it does, it just gives the excuse for cops to be dicks and to hit this quota that nobody wants to admit that they can have. Yet all these cops, all these interviews with these former police officers, yes, we have quotas. Yes, we have quotas. And that thin blue line, that blue shield, if you guys see that American flag that's black and white with the blue line, that's what that represents. That's cops backing cops. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's patriotic. If you see a cop with the badge and he has the black shield, the black stripe over his shield, that's cops backing cops. That's gang shit. Okay? Plain and simple. That's gang shit. That's police officers can do no wrong. Plain and simple. That's cultism. That's bullshit. We don't need that. You guys are police officers. You're here to protect and serve the people. At the end of the day, if you can't protect and serve the people, what are you good for? You're hired hitmen. You're better off bodyguarding or bouncing for a club. This ain't the job for you. If you can't handle it, seek help. If help doesn't help, get another job. It's simple.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, Kay, you might agree with me, you might disagree, but I do have love for the police. I understand they have their time and place, they have their position, they have a very difficult job to do. I will back the police if I know they're in the right, but you best believe, officer, if you're in the wrong, you're going to hear my voice as well. You should be able to withhold the Constitution, not use it for your benefit or use it to violate us.
Mm-hmm.
Final
100%
thoughts.
agree. I 100% agree with that. I'm not against police officers. They have a place. The problem is they the problem is that they misuse their powers.
Do you think they're under some pressure that we don't know? Do you think these quotas are kicking their ass and we just don't
No,
know? I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
I know, but no, even if that is the case, like, okay, you don't meet a quota, what the hell are they gonna do? They're not gonna fire you. They're gonna write you up. What? So my life is equal to your quota.
It kind of seems that way, huh?
So if that's the value of it, then no, you shouldn't be there.
So who's giving these quotas? Who's handing this down?
That would be, and I guess my question would be, what kind of quota is it? Like, is it parking ticket quotas? Is it arrest quotas? Like, what is the quotas? What are they?
It could be all of it. It could be you need to hit X amount of stop and frisk. You need to hit X amount of traffic. You need to hit X amount of drug possession. You need to hit X amount of they're going to jail. They're going to prison. It could be several different quotas. And if you don't hit the quotas, maybe, because I don't know, maybe they'll say, well, I'm sorry, but you don't qualify to apply for overtime this month. Or you don't meet this metric, so we're going to put you on desk duty for X amount of time. Or you lose your vehicle privileges, you got to walk the beat. Whatever. I don't know. I'm just giving examples because at the end of the day, these officers without their badge, they're people. They got bills, they got problems like everybody else.
Right. And that's what I mean. Like, I officers want to go home too. Like in certain situations, they want to go home. They have a job to do. I respect that they have a job to do. And yes, there's a lot of pressure being a cop. I will be the first to admit that's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of responsibility on you. But let's not forget, people, you took on that responsibility. That is your choice, 100%. You decided that job. Therefore, you should be the one to say, hey, if I can't do this job correctly, I need to back off. And if you can't, and if you don't, and if something goes wrong, that's 100% on you too. Nobody else. That's your responsibility to say, this is not for me. It's like any other job.
Yeah.
Yours come with a lot of responsibility. So if you can't handle that responsibility, your ass don't need to be there.
And it's hard because I mean, at the end of the day, they do have to go through training, even though it's less time, than being a barber. It's still training, it's learning, it's sacrificing. There's pressure galore because it's like, what if, oh man, I did all this training, I graduated, I did this. My dad was a cop, my grandfather was a cop, my uncle's a cop. What's wrong with me? I can't do it. No, I can do it. And they're fighting themselves. That pressure's just building up.
Well, see, to me, that means you're in it for the wrong reasons, because you're just trying to fill a legacy. You're not in it because you want to help people out. You're just trying to do what daddy and granddad did. That's not the reason to be a cop.
Or it started off that way. You wanted to be a cop because you wanted to help people, and then you found out it comes with all these quotas, metrics, whatever you have to hit. And now that molded you and changed you into something else. So if it is the quotas, and I'm just giving out a theory, if it is the quotas, where are the quotas coming from? Why aren't we pointing fingers at those button pushers that are saying you need to hit this amount? Is it the city?
Well, that will be the city or the government, like always is.
So guys, if you know out there who's setting the quotas, why don't they admit that there are quotas? Leave a comment and let us know, because maybe we shouldn't be pointing all the fingers at the cops. It should be at the people that are pointing the fingers at them. You need to do this. You need to do that. It needs to be done by this time. And they're just trying to follow orders and falling under that pressure.
They still not getting a pass from me.
Oh, no, not at all. They shouldn't. There's a constitution. You uphold them by that constitution. People, know your laws in your state. Know what the cops can ask you for. Know what they can't ask you for. If you know that they're violating one of your rights, don't argue with them. Don't yell at them. Just say, under threat of arrest, are you asking me for X, Y, and Z? If they say yes, give them your ID. Do what they're saying. Because once you do that, you've got a case. They violated your rights, and you can take them for whatever you can get. All right? Know your rights, people. Mm-hmm. So, again, we love the police. We're not police haters, but we hate the police that are abusing their power.
Yep.
That badge and gun is just tin. That's all it is. At the end of the day, is what you do with it. Make a difference in a kid's life. Make a difference in a family's life. I love to see those videos where the cops are pulling out bikes and handing them to the youth. I love to see the videos where the cop takes a break and shoots basketball for 5 or 6 minutes.
Love it.
You know, the cop that pulls over and buys ice cream for the 10 kids that are hanging out on the corner. I love that. That community stuff, keep on doing it. It doesn't always have to be about money. Take the time and just talk, chit chat. You know, talk with the old folk that are hanging out, just chilling on their porch. Hey, how's your day going? Just be personable. That's it. Be reachable, make it comfortable so we can reach out to you guys. That's it.
Yep.
There's such a stigma that we can't reach out to the cops. Let's change that moving forward.
There was a video that in 2020, when the riots and everything were going around, there was a one video I seen, and the police officers, the sergeant was like, "What can we do to make this better, to help out, to bring us all together?" And all they kept saying was, "Walk with us, just walk with us." And he was like, "All right, we walking in," and he had the police force walking within the community with the people marching, and they got to talking, and that's how you break barriers.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Be a part of the community because that's a community that you're serving.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. So, guys, leave your comments. We're interested to hear from you guys. Again, you can reach us. You can reach out to us personally at thejktheory@gmail.com. This is the JK Theory. I'm Jay.
I'm Kay.
And until next time, peace.
Peace.